Spartanburg County deputies say they have shot someone who was holding a knife. Our Lauren Miller is gathering the very latest information at the scene for us tonight and joins us live. Lauren.
Hey Gordon, we're here on Bridgeford Lane, and as you can see, sheriff's deputies' cars are lining this neighborhood 3.5 hours later after this incident happened. It happened around 7:30 p.m. tonight when an officer, or I should say a deputy, responded to a call, and that deputy was confronted by an individual wielding a large kitchen knife. And then that's when it became an officer-involved shooting. And now that person that was wielding the knife was transported to Spartanburg Regional Medical Center for treatment. We actually had the chance to speak with a neighbor who heard a lot of what happened and even saw some things. Let's take a listen to what they saw.
I seen one cop come up the curb and driving, regular. And whenever, about less than 5 minutes later, I heard a pop. Something bad is happening, and when I seen the person down there, I seen them moving like they was moving the person around, and I said that person either done shot themselves or someone that shot them.
Now, the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office tells us that deputy was uninjured and they've been placed on administrative paid leave. The Sheriff's Office says that is standard protocol. In Spartanburg County, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
State agents have confirmed, Lauren, they will be investigating this now as well. Also, usually standard protocol. Thank you, Lauren.
And another person has been sentenced for participating in a series of attacks on homeless camps in Greenville County. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office says they became aware of the attacks back in July of 2022 while investigating a man's murder. Investigators found videos which show 21-year-old Seth Norris brutally attacking several people. In the attack and Joshua Garrett's murder, Norris has pleaded guilty to assault and battery and accessory after the fact. He was sentenced to 12 years.
A federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by South Carolina's NAACP against the State Department of Education about a dispute and a rule in the state budget that says tax dollars cannot be used to teach one race or gender is inherently superior to another. In the ruling, the judge said the group does not have legal standing to sue. The NAACP argued the rule is vague and let lawmakers dictate what's in the classroom. The rule led to the removal of AP African American Studies from South Carolina schools. Now,
3 pets have been exposed to a rabid bat in Greenville County. The South Carolina Department of Health confirmed the exposure of this bat after it was found near Locust Hill and South Bates Roads. This is in Taylor's, and it tested positive for rabies. According to DPH, the 3 pets are being quarantined. DPH says no people have been exposed as far as they know. Joining us, the 3rd case of measles has been confirmed in South Carolina this year.
It's 2 more than last year. Our Taylor Farmer has more on the latest case.
The South Carolina Department of Public Health says the person who is confirmed to have measles just returned from an international trip, and the country they were visiting was experiencing an outbreak. Unrelated to the 2nd case of measles reported in South Carolina back in July, state health officials now confirm a 3rd case involving an upstate resident.
Not surprised, but a little bit disheartened that we're seeing another outbreak of measles.
Officials believe this case was brought into the U.S. from another country, though they aren't offering anything more specific about the location. State health officials say the upstate resident diagnosed with measles is unvaccinated. They warn against skipping the vaccine, noting it's over 97% effective at preventing respiratory complications that can lead to hospitalization or even death.
We really need about 95% of the general public to be vaccinated to prevent an outbreak, and I think our vaccination rates are dipping into the low 90s, 91, 92% right now.
Doctors stress that measles is extremely contagious, spreading through the air and targeting the respiratory system. It may seem like a cold, but it's followed by a rash. Isolation for 4 days before and after the onset of rash is highly recommended.
A lot of people will become infected It can stay in the air. Like I said, it's a respiratory illness. It can stay in the air for up to 2 hours after you leave that room.
But doctors also say it's preventable. Health providers urge people to review their vaccine records. Most people receive the first MMR vaccine around 12 months old and a second dose between the ages of 4 and 6 years old. For all ages, it's even more important to be vaccinated when traveling to another country where measles is common, no matter how old or young.
Never too late. And in fact, even we've had families that are traveling before their child reaches their 1-year-old birthday. So we've vaccinated kids even earlier, as low as 6 months traveling internationally.
The South Carolina Department of Public Health will not release details of the individual confirmed to have measles, such as age, sex, or their condition. In Greenville County, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
The Department of Public Health says most people born before 1957 were infected with measles during childhood and are presumed to have protection by natural immunity.
Season's back, but while fans across the country are placing bets on their favorite team, sports betting is still illegal in South Carolina.
State House reporter Caroline Yaffa tells us what needs to happen for sports betting to become legal in this state.
Sports fans all over the country tell me they want to be at a bar, watch their favorite football team, and place a bet. But as the football season begins, here in South Carolina, you still can't do that. Sports experts say when a state legalizes sports gambling, they generally see a boost in tax revenue.
There's been significant interest in participation in sport gambling when it becomes legalized in states. And so because of that, a lot of people participating, a lot of revenue has been generated. And that can benefit in a lot of ways depending on how the state decides to use it.
House Minority Leader Representative Todd Rutherford is a co-sponsor of the bipartisan sports gambling bill. If passed, anyone 18 or older could place sports bets online in South Carolina.
We have talked about this bill ad nauseum, and this bill is about freedom. The fact that South Carolina has some of the best sports teams in the entire country and we're unable to place bets on our phone is absolutely ridiculous.
But Governor McMaster has said for years that he is very much against sports gambling and gambling in general.
I think gambling is bad for our culture. It's not a part of our heritage. And there are better ways to make money, to give jobs, to generate tax money.
I don't understand that line of thinking or that logic. This is simply about, again, giving people access to be able to do what they're already doing. Everybody knows that people bet. Friendly wages here, there, $1, $2, $50. I'm sure even the governor has seen it. The fact is that it's simply illegal in South Carolina, and we need to fix that.
However, USC professor Stephen Shapiro believes sports gambling could be in the state's future.
My guess is going to be that most states, including South Carolina, will eventually legalize the activity. The difference might be that the restrictions that are set could be different. Some of the early states had less restrictions on gambling. Now, newer states that are more recently legalizing it are probably going to set up guardrails to maybe protect the consumer a little bit more.
North Carolina legalized sports gambling last year, but their law is a little different than South Carolina's bill because theirs says you have to be 21 to place a bet. In Columbia, I'm Caroline Yaffa.
For sports fans, it doesn't look likely that the governor's going to budge on this issue, and he's in office through the end of next year.